Okay, enchanting the equipment that we're gonna need if we want to do some kind of melee fighting. Not sure. Want to test the dragon skin out. Yeah, I don't think this is a good spell to use. See yourself using this in the middle of a fight. You can do 40. You can basically fight a single opponent through this, but I don't see this being as a replacement for a proper armor. That sort of decides it. We do have to make something else that generates the least perks. We might even do smithing and, well, we're using a light armor. Shit. We do armor alteration combination or try to use clothing, and we can probably get a 3 times multiplier on the effectiveness of the spell. So what is it? About 100? Then in flesh, yeah, 100. So 300? It's still not a massive amount. So I think dragon hide and armor and alteration combination is actually better. And those, yeah, block, 100 weapon use, maybe archery. Yeah, we need a lot of perks. There's just no getting around that. It's not that big of a deal what we choose, but we need to make that choice. That's the big deal. I don't think we have enchantment potions in storage. Enchanter's Elixir 1. We're not gonna have time to rename things. We have to have a plan what we're gonna do. Let's go through with it. Bone Hawk App. This is more of a necromancer's ammo, but we don't need a helmet. We have the what we have right now. But gauntlets, boots, armor, medallion, ring. We have all of it. Okay, let's see what we can put in these. Boots. What if I carry weight? What if I pickpocket? Okay. I want ability. I don't want carry weight increases. We don't have one-handed damage. I think we are not gonna do the enchantment. We're basically missing one of the most important things we could have. Increasing one-handed damage. Can't do resist magic in boots for reasons. Yeah, that's a problem. It's a fairly large problem. Have the funds to rectify the problem. We're gonna go to Solitude. What exactly is weighing so much? Solitude has the Radiant Raiment, which sells clothing and jewelry. I had a good selection last time I checked. What? Monster. This is basically an elven armor. If we take elven smithing, we might be able to improve it more. What's our smithing? 62. We need 60 to be able to improve enchanted items. With 3 points we could get 11 smithing. Yeah, I think that's the way to do it. The thing is, if we just use the dragon skin spell, it's very cumbersome to cast, only lasts 45 seconds. So it is not a good spell to use in a situation where we might have to be able to replenish it on a whim in the middle of a fight. It is not a good. The effect is great. The reality of casting it is terrible. It's a borderline worthless thing as far as I'm concerned. Against a single opponent, it might be okay because you could initiate the fight, undetected and then just go with it. But how it is now, no. No. We might want to visit Dawnguard too. Maybe we should just marry someone from Dawnguard, if that's possible. We would have a connection to those guys. Reasonable connection. Maybe one of the guild members from Nature's Guild. I'd like to get that
Got
bit
something for just about everybody in here.
thing over.
Give a holler if you have any questions.
Where do you have your
Oh, let's see if we can't find an outfit that suits you.
restoration, conjuration, blah 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 blah. This will not have the one-handed damage. One-handed attacks do 35% more damage. Oh, it did have it. I'm not interested in buying it yet. I'm hoping for the protections against diseases and poisons. That's what I saw previously. Take it now. We might as well take it.
Finally.
It's a fairly expensive version of it. There are 2 other shops that might have something similar.
I thought adventurers were supposed to look tough.
Biren said you got here. Take a look. Trinkets, odds and ends, that sort of thing. Come back to bits and pieces anytime.
We'll buy the amulet if we can't find anything else. It's expensive, but it has what we need. With that we can move forward with the armor.
Seems there's no end. Looking to protect yourself or deal some damage?
Storms. Not bad, not interesting. One-handed attacks do 25% more damage, quite a bit. 15%, yeah, just cheaper versions of the other items. So we could save a decent amount of money out of that. Ibenishi. Razors of Luck.
Return anytime you need arms or armor. My forge never left.
We're done.
Got something for
We
just
might be
about
missing
everyone,
other
maybe.
abilities too,
It's
but
good to see. Take a look.
they would not be anywhere as important. Alteration spells last 75% longer. With strong alchemy, I suppose you could make the clothing protection only work, just because you could just increase the duration long enough that it wouldn't really matter.
Don't forget me next time you need herbs and potions.
At least we can do it. With the equipment set. This is a once in a game opportunity to enchant the ancient armor pieces, so with them I want at least 25% increase in effectiveness. Enchantment has to be good. It's all about physical one-handed weapon damage. It'll help with the backstabbing too. It's going to basically affect the core or base damage of the weapon. How well, we're not gonna enchant weapons because we're using conjured ones at the moment. Let's say boots. No, I don't want to use black soul gems, but I suppose it doesn't really matter. Black soul gems are harder to find than grand ones. $37. 40% more damage. Eventually that, but what's the other one? 7 regeneration. Stamina? No. We're probably going to take some kind of resistance thing. So, with boots, I make some kind of a system here. We have a ring, an amulet, circlet. Might make a circlet too. We can always switch it up. Boots, armor, gloves. So 6 item pieces. Boots will be damage and elemental resist. We'll have to see what we have at that time. 46% resistance or something. Go. More damage. And what else? Maybe block. I'm not sure what it really would help. More archery wouldn't hurt either. Light armor. Don't know what it would do. Maybe Magicka. Magicka is still gonna be useful. Maybe I should just take the bow damage. I mean, we do switch between that. So with gauntlets we could go damage combo. Doesn't seem like a bad idea. Especially because I doubt we'll ever go pure bow using. But it'll still keep the bow use relevant when we happen to do it. This might be the most troublesome. Some combinations can only be put into armor. We need health. There's gonna be no exception to that. You have to get more health. What else? We do more damage. Damage is always good. I doubt we can do damage though. Do health regeneration. 31% faster. This might be good if you would have a significant health pool and natural health regeneration. So if you could basically get rid of the engagement for a moment, you might regenerate a reasonable amount of health. But I don't think that's a good idea for us. Particular regeneration and spell cost reduction. Might be better to just take a heavier spell cost reduction. What I'm looking at now is that the alteration could benefit from it the most. %25% spell cost reduction. Alteration, we would be using paralyzation and armor probably very consistently. Illusion is another, but you don't have to spam illusion. And it's getting... we didn't even use a single cost reduction thing on illusion where we got it to 100 once. It just wasn't necessary. Alteration is something that we cannot run out of Magicka. That paralysis and armor, the armor is a vital component. It's not just some luxury thing. %62% faster Magicka regeneration. That's not bad. That might be what we need. Cost reductions are nice, but do we even have fortifier alteration? Okay, it's going to be cost reduction or increase regeneration on alteration. So, health. Regen or cost? Ring. It has to be more damage. Melee damage. Should be able to get a decent amount of attack damage going through this. So after that, resistances or health. I'd like to have the health on 2 items. We'll have 3 damage items very likely. Maybe even 4. But people are very tough, especially the tougher monsters at this point, so we really want to push that forward. We could also go with more of a defensive thing, I suppose. Depends on what we can put in the amulet. but resists are not something we want to do without. In the melee business though, health and damage will be more important. Resistant focus would be if we want to keep our distance. But resistances are in no way a bad thing. I mean, we do have to go against mages and things like that, so... Can we even put more damage there? Yes, yes we can. I guess it's basically a ring. So it's damage, resist, or health, depending on what we chose with the others. What can you put in a circle? That's something I don't even know. Circles seem to follow their own rules a little bit. Damage is no longer a possibility. No, fortified archery is a possibility. Huh. So archery could be made very, very strong. Well, there you have a water breathing thingy. Okay. Nothing all that interesting. Magical regeneration and probably cost reduction would make the most sense. So we could cut alteration spell cost pretty much in half. And significantly increase magical regeneration rate. I don't know. There's like 3 items we can add resistances to. Ooh, there is one. Well, we can't really enchant it, but there's a shield. I do intend to use a shield. It makes a lot of sense fighting against others. Oriel Shield. Stores the energy of blocked attacks. Performing a power bash will release stored energy. I don't like this. I'd rather have a normal shield that I can enchant and then put something useful in it. I mean, it's another item, but where we can probably add resistances. And if we're going to go against other casters, yeah, I think we want an enchanted shield. Any magic resistance, spell absorption, anything. Ooh, I can think of a very good shield we could go after. Where do you get it? It's a Daedric artifact shield. We can't plan on it though. But it's probably one of the better shields we could have. I think it has some kind of a warding ability naturally attached to it. Can easily make a shield. It would require elven smithing. Yeah. You can find a shield, buy a shield, it's not that big of a deal. We don't have the smithing skills to support it now. We can take it, that's no problem. We really would like to... yeah. Oh fuck. We have to make enchanting legendary basically immediately after this. Because we don't have perks to put into... the actual combat capabilities. What do we need for elven shield? Iron ingot. Definitely a temporary thing, but what can we add to a shield? Probably a lot of defensive abilities. Fortify block. Block 40% more damage with your shield. Is that a good thing? It's probably a good thing, but resist. All resists can be added to this. More health. For something like this, we would not use the Enchantress potion. But we're just gonna start picking these. We can probably do the ancient equipment pieces with that, but well, for the rest we'll just make the items. Gold rupee necklace. Right, so damage, resists, or health. Well, it has to be damage. Damage is the key. The more we have damage, the less we have to tank damage. I'm thinking of putting health here. We need it in 2 items. So might as well just start putting them in. If we do these this way, we have all the time to rename these. Say melee. What ring? Like it matters. Another damage. Got to have that damage going for you. Press one-handed. Resist or health. There are very few resist items. Basically shield and boots. But I don't do it here. We took the health with the amulet, resist with this. Magic. It's already decent, but I think with this our magic resistance is gonna be pretty much as high as it could get. So after this it would be elemental resist. Legend ring done. Suppose circles is one of those things that we have to do 2. Circuit was cost reduction, magicka regeneration, yeah. Alteration. Good enough. And the sheet. This might not be the best thing ever, but it's a solid improvement of what the situation has been before this. I'm taking shock resistance for a simple reason. Shock is incredibly hard to dodge. If someone has shock, you're just going to have to eat the damage. Frost, sort of a similar reason. If we start to get hit with frost damage, you're just gonna take hits. There's no getting around that. Shock frost? Now the good ones. Just reminding myself what we want to put in here. Boots. We can't. Boots has damage. Okay. Damage and elemental resist. Right, so are we gonna put fire in here? Might as well. So everything is at least resisted to some extent. Not sure if it's gonna be a good thing, but yeah. What do we put in the chorus? Health and cost reduction, I suppose. Or alternatively, faster regeneration. Regeneration would benefit everything. Need to remind myself where the abilities are. Fortified health. Maybe magical regeneration would make more sense. I think it would make more sense because the only really expensive alteration spell is the dragon skin. While we can cast it, probably will here and there, it makes much more sense to use the ebony skin, which isn't that expensive, but we probably would like to recover from it quite fast. And the gloves. So damage combination of the gloves. Okay. Simple enough. Where is it? Damaged, fire resist, health regeneration, damage. No, I don't want quick fucking enchanting. One-handed archery. Health, magical regeneration. Okay, now the set is complete. We want to get the other Guardian Stone for the Ethereal Crown. Basically, no, not like this. We need to find the other ability first, because I do want to keep the extra magic resistance and resistances in general in my character. So I want to add something else to the crown. And I think I have a candidate for that. Bad. Bad at all. Okay. Let me think about this for a while. This makes no sense. This makes sense. This doesn't make sense. Okay, what we want is bound sword. Doesn't have to be here. And we need the shield too. So we can just do this. Would be our standard fighting setup. Accessible with a press of a button. We have to keep the bound daggers in a key because we can't put them in both hands through this system. We need paralyzation. There. Probably should use a better healing spell. How expensive are these things? Fast healing, 47. Will we do better? Heals caster 150 points. Less than double the cost. It's basically full heal for us. Well, maybe not now. Close wounds. We have a little bit of extra health, so we could use the extra healing. What is in 6? 6 has to be ebony flesh. Armor rating 244. It is not good, but we would get armor rating 300 if we would use the... Oh, for God's sakes. I have no armor, and this is before we've tried to improve our equipment through smithing, so I'm confident we can buff it above 300. I spent the points. Yeah. Do we want anything from enchanting besides that? Enchanting wasn't that hard to get up in the first place. But now that we have it in this position, I'd really like to make the equipment sets I think we need. This is for melee. If this isn't enough, fuck it. We don't really have any other equipment sets. So we might make one for destruction. It basically does have to have the or cost reduction abilities. We don't even need to use Enchanter's Potion to improve on that. Then probably Conjuration Illusion thing. I don't see any other major combat line that we could do. That makes sense. The illusion could be mixed with archery. We could buff it even further than this does. So basically 2 additional equipment sets. We don't need any additional... Well, we actually don't really need much at all. The mages system and everything else could be just clothing. However, we don't really have that. Could be Forsworn armors, that could be one of them. Another could just be clothing. Skull. I don't actually like the hat, but other than that, it looks just nice and warm. Tavern clothes. Follow Maybe vampire setup. That's nice looking. We could even use the royal vampire armor as the center. Magical regeneration would be like 2 enchantments combined. Magical regeneration enchantment, so it wouldn't be any worse in that sense either. And so it's very nice looking. So what we would like is vampire boots, vampire gauntlets, and vampire... That's it, pretty much. I think that's a nice clothing sort of for fun. That would be destruction, I think. The thing is, it doesn't make any sense to have a magical regeneration rate that fast there. Because you can reduce the cost really to 0 anyway. Wedding weed. As long as we just do it, that's the important part. I don't think we necessarily need any of this, but just in case we do. This would be the Forsworn one. No. Vampire one. This could be the illusion armor set. It fits. Conjuration would fit there too. Okay. Fortify illusion. Illusion spells cost 25% less. And 15% less. Having more health wouldn't hurt here either. Illusion doesn't really require the cost reductions. Health magical regeneration makes more sense. Yeah, we can produce illusion cost to 0, but what the fuck are we gonna get from that? Nothing. Nothing even remotely valuable, so... Vampire armor... rename. I'll mark these would be... But basically magic and survivability focus. That's the key. Vampire gauntlets. Damaged, that doesn't matter in the slightest. Fortified Magica. Sneak. Aren't really good options, but illusion is often combined with range combat too, so archery might not be a bad addition to this. Pickpocketing wouldn't be a bad thing either. We aren't really doing that. And killing has to be... Ooh, we could do the smithing armor set to improve our armor. Ah, shit. That makes a lot of sense. Maybe this would be more of an illusion trickery focus. We don't need the bow for that. But it always comes down to that at some point. You have to be able to kill things. We could use conjuration for that, but it's sort of sitting there in the shadows doing nothing just doesn't sit quite well with me. I certainly have done it, but I don't like to keep doing that. This has to be about resistances. Shock, frost, fire. Shock, fire. Frost is not a big concern for an illusionist caster in general. Okay. Bone Hawk Amulet. That's gloves, armor, boots. Ring amulet circlet missing. Nice looking amulet. Necromancer's amulets. Conjuration cost reductions would be somewhat useful at least. But even there, it's better to just recover than focus on it too much. Resistances would be really useful. Has to be put on something. There isn't anything particularly interesting. Resistances and health wouldn't be a bad thing. We have the armor. Armor had health. We have shock and fire. We don't need the frost added to there somewhere. I think I'll add magic because frost magic couldn't be added to all that many items. Forsworn would be then the destruction battle. Get up. What is this? Circlet. Which means basically more of a magic focus. Regeneration and that's it. I suppose you could always put archery there, but no. Need more magicka. It helps with the regeneration too. Yep. And we're basically missing the ring. Which would be more resistances. We have what? Magic, shock, fire. We will want frost. Maybe more shock. The thing is, well, maybe more fire. Shock is very bad, sure, but a lot of the main bad guys seem to use fire or frost. It might be better to have improved resistance against such things. We could make an extra ring that has a different set of resistances. Fire shock, maybe? It's definitely not a big thing. Not exactly descriptive names for these items, but I just want the same equipment sets to be easily combinable. Shock and magic. I'm basically thinking of if we face some kind of terrible shock using enemy, we'll have a equipment set specifically countering it. Okay, that's good enough. Forsworn armor. Again, we don't. This would be the destruction. Having a little bit of health would not hurt. Forsworn, they're all Forsworn, so we don't have to separate them. I mean, we are basically running around getting hit, so health is a good thing then. Destruction has to be included. Bigger regeneration. Even if it doesn't matter as far as destruction is concerned, it would still help. We could do other things. Maybe fortify restoration. Fortify restoration, I think it's vital in some instances. Because the restoration abilities are, I think they're pretty much everything that boosts your ability to do something. So if you have a restoration fortification equipment set or potions or something, you can further increase the buffs already coming your way. Resistances, definitely. Shock, fire. Something that's hard for you to dodge. Pick up a problem. Fireballs and lightning bolts. What else? Nothing useful. So fortify Magica and then what? Archery? Carryway? I mean, if you're going with a destruction set, you're not gonna use archery. That's just the end of it. Sneak might be worthwhile. Don't think it matters what the other thing is. I honestly don't. But maybe the extra carry weight then. We could use it to switch around anyhow if we have a low carry weight in some situation. Fortify destruction. Hell. So this would be destruct. Are we still missing something? I think amulet. Or a circlet? No. We have a helmet. We don't have amulets. Well, shit. I have to have an amulet. But what was the other thing I planned on doing? Yeah, the buff our smithing. That's it. Initiative, well, blacksmith's apron, initiative boots, chef's hat. Ooh, no. We can use the glass armor setup to do this. Need a couple of amulets. So a long enchantment section, but we're switching pretty much directly to legendary with enchantment. Everything we worked for will go down the drain. We have to be in a position where I can feel like it doesn't matter if we don't ever get enchantment to those high levels. It just won't make a difference. I'm cool with that. And that's the end of it. With this, we should have everything. Future-proofing our character as far as enchanting is concerned. Amulet of Destruction. Then what? There's some kind of defensive thing. I take more health. Because considering it's that you have initially 100 health, it's like having 62% resistances against everything, in a way. Either way, more than 50% boost to your survivability. It's not quite the same because we're getting health from multiple items, but I do like the idea of having a larger buffer there. Large as we can, if we really have to rely on that. I don't recall what resistances we had at all. That's another reason why I'm sort of leaning toward health, because I really don't recall at all what we took. Okay. Fortify smithing. Armor, gauntlets, ring necklace. So 4 items. 25% bonus probably for each. Fine. But the other is, it doesn't matter. Alchemy? Can we take it? Not in the same item. But that's fine. Definitely need to rename this. Just blacksmith. Blacksmith on everything. Add alchemy there, just in case I happen to want to do it at some point. Don't think so, but not like we can redo this if we change our mind later. So, was it a ring or a necklace? Ring. So, necklace. And with that, we say goodbye. Fortify alchemy, fortify speed. We don't have enough materials, do we? We need at least 3 pieces of moonstone, preferably 4. We have 4. Armor, gloves, boots, shield. Well, we can always do this later on too. So we'll waste like 4 refined moonstone. What is that? That's nothing. The droughts, we could improve things further. Blacksmith elixir. For 30 seconds, weapon and armor improving is 50% better. Right. And this is without us having any skill in light armor, I mean any perks. So if we put perks, we have 240 now. That's without the spell. It was around here with the spell. So we can get a higher armor rating with the spell than we could do with no armor. Very nice indeed. Now I think we're gonna be wrapping up this session. Except we need to spend perk points. Lots and lots of enchantment perk points. Do it. Not sure if I want to spend there anything again. I don't think so. It will also mean that we don't have to go legendary with a lot of things anymore. But well, might have to. More lucky. One-handed damage. 40% more damage. Fighting style. Power attacks cause less stamina. Light armor. Increases light armor rating by 20%. 25% bonus wearing all light armor. We're not doing that. We have a circle, not a helmet. But 40% increase in light armor. Still have 5 points to spend. Illusion. I suppose we could do conjuration. I mean, make it epic. Then, well, I don't know. It's actually, thinking about it, would be quite hard to get on higher levels. At the same time, it doesn't, and our bound weapons are relying on that. However, the bound weapons only require a skill level of 30. A lot of this is basically just nonsense. Conjuration cost reduction, on the other hand, would in that sense made sense. Paralyzed target. And 25% more damage. This is how the perk points just melt away. Absorb 30% of the magicka of any spells that hit you. And I think this will affect your own spells you cast on yourself. Considering that's mainly healing, I'm not sure if, well, also invisibility. So we sneak around, this could be a bad thing. In any other situation it would be a very cool thing. So I don't know. Select arrows. Arrows that hit the shield do no damage. Blocking with a shield reduces incoming fire, frost and shock damage by 50%. I think I'll take the deflect arrows. Oh. Sacrifice enchantment to give birth to a melee fighter. What's our armor class now? It's 300 naturally, so we can raise it to 400 by casting the armor spell. Pretty much 150 points of extra armor during this, and we can bring a light armor skill higher still. We can boost it a little bit further, so we can probably get the armor rating quite high. I'm not sure what the maximum is before it starts to be useful. However, I don't think we're there yet. One more thing. We're gonna store a lot of these equipment sets here. I don't want to drag them all with me, but we want to... What was it? Ethereum whatchamacallit. That's what we had. We need to get an enchantment on it. And it cannot be this that we're currently having. This is what we want to keep. So what we need to do, I need to go to the stone that I want to store in the ethereal crown. Then go back to the Lord Stone, put on the crown and use the Lord Stone. Anything really with a single enchantment can go away. Blacksmith equipment doesn't cost weigh all that much, but at the same time, there's no reason to have it with us. Can pretty much sell all this. If this doesn't weigh all that much, we might as well just keep it as backup. As armor set could be just sold away. Everything can be just pretty much be sold away. Right. Right. So. What were the two things I wanted to do? Ethereum crown. So. I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep this. But I think there's steed stone here. It's let's wait on. There it is. Wait a minute, what the fuck is this? Ah, crap, I enchanted the shield, so we lost a quick find. The steed stone would be great because what it does is it negates all the downsides of carrying an armor. It basically removes the weight from any armor you're currently carrying. I think it also increases your carry capacity, which is nice, but it's not something I care about. The moment we had our own home, it became really basically meaningless. We can just always just go there and store any extra we have. We don't need it on an ability. Okay, it's quite a bit higher than I thought. There are yeah, better off coming from the Thalmor embassy. It's on top of the ridge. Really like to test this out on against anything really. We should be doing decent amount of damage. But we need the testing because I can't just look at my weapon and see how much damage I do because it's a counter weapon. Well, this could be my opportunity. One enemy is coming our way. Pretty much perfect. I'm sure there are more than there. Doing quite a lot of damage though. Well, it's not terrible. I don't know a lot of things with the one-handed gliding. Not bad, bad at all. Wasn't exactly amazing, we have a lot of improvements too. But basic bandit types, no real problem. It'll get a lot tougher if they can attack us at the same time, or we can't block, or whatever. There are a lot of reasons. But we didn't have to fear about getting knocked out with a single hit anymore. Could stand our ground without too much fuss. Ironback hideout. Okay, what to do next? Realistic option would be to join the companions. So it's melee we have to do, and that would be the correct place to go. However, it might require us to really know what we're doing right from the start. We're not in a bad position now. We're not exactly doing great either. Steed Stone. Those under the sign of the steed can carry more and do not suffer a movement penalty from armor. That's what I want. Because there's no telling how much perk points I can afford to put in light armor. Because a lot of them require you to have the light armor helmet too. And that's something I don't have. The basic armor increase comes from the core skill though. So we can afford to put there. Thing is, I'm not going to be able to necessarily get away from the penalty. That would require us to move upward in the skill tree. Now, where was the Lord Stone? Oh. Tower? Ah, yes. The most useless thing ever. I don't recall the Lord Stone. What the hell was it? It's not this difficult. That's a ritual. Tower. Lord. So Steed would go into the power am I using?
Picked a bad time to get lost for.
Nope. Ethereum Crown Piece.
Weren't expecting that, were you? Is someone there?
Lordstone, Steedstone. Carry weight plus 100. No movement penalty from armor. Excellent. And if I do this, where's my melee? What circlet did I have? I don't recall. Shit. Did I not name it? Fuck. I don't recall, seriously, not at all. Alteration, yeah. Steed stone removal. Not bad. I think that's all we're gonna do now. Except for one thing. Yeah, it gets dragged, I know, but the thing is, we want light armored up. Now it's a core to our survival, and it's 33, so it's success. I want to just buy the training. That's it. So we're going to go to Written. It should be still cheap. We can definitely afford it, and we're still getting reasonably enough level up, so we can probably get it to high enough of a number that we don't have to worry about it too much. And I guess that's a wrap. don't think we're gonna do enchanting anymore in this game. I just don't see it. The only thing that we could have done is that have a very good weapons
stranger here
and
too, huh?
enchant damage bonuses to them. Have like 2 daggers that have a ridiculous bounce to them, so we can do a lot of damage.
All meats guaranteed.
But we already are, I suppose, not
Quality
good enough of a
here.
You gonna stare all day or buy some armor?
I
I'll
can
teach
live,
you how to use
live
it
without
effectively
that.
and keep you quick on your feet. Just what you see here. Come back when you're ready to spend more
Not bad,
gold.
not bad at all.
Goodness knows I could use it.
Probably going to do minor things the next time. I also want to check on the Joan Guard, see if anything's going on there. Maybe see the marriage situation. Might be time for us to get married. Adopt a few kids, and the steward and the companion take care of them. It's a totally pointless thing, but still. There's no reason not to do it.